Okay, this video is our introduction to algebra. Algebra is a branch of maths where we use and manipulate pronumerals. What are pronumerals? A pronumeral is a letter or symbol that stands for a number. In algebra, an expression is a group of terms in which each term is separated by an addition or subtraction sign. There are some important things to note about some algebraic expressions which we'll go through now. Here, 5x subtract 3y adding 2. We call this a trinomial because it has got three terms, 1, 2, 3. So that's known as a trinomial. The pronumerals x and y may take different values, and they're called variables. At the end here, the term 2, we call it a constant as it has no pronumerals with it. This first term, 5x, the number in front of the x, for the 5 we call the coefficient. And here, negative 3y, the coefficient of the y is the negative 3. If an expression only has two terms, so for example 4x subtract 6y, we call that a binomial, two terms. If an expression only has one term, so for example 5y, we call that a monomial. A polynomial has many terms. Let's look at this worked example here. First question, how many terms are there? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this expression, there are 6 terms. What is the coefficient of the second term? So I'm going to highlight my second term. What is the coefficient of that second term? The coefficient is the number and the sign in front of the letters, so the coefficient of that second term is negative 3. What is the coefficient of the last term? So I'm going to highlight our last term. What is the coefficient of that last term? Here's the last term. The coefficient is the number in front of the pronumeral. If there's nothing immediate, if you can't see anything with the y squared, remember about my putting 1 there. So the coefficient, the number in front of the y squared, is 1 over 7. So the coefficient of the last term is 1/7. What is the constant term? So in there, which is the term without a pronumeral? That's what the constant term is, and there's our constant term. That is the term that hasn't got a pronumeral, so our constant term is 2. What is the term with the smallest coefficient? Okay. The term with the smallest coefficient. Well, let's write out the coefficient of the first term. So that's the number with the first term, it's 6. The coefficient of the second term is negative 3. The third term, that's like 1z, so the coefficient is 1. The fourth term, that's 1x squared z, so the coefficient is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I've got it wrong here. 1, 2. The third term is 1. The fourth term is a constant, so there's no coefficient. The fifth term is 1. This is our fifth term here. And the sixth term, we've already worked out the coefficient is 1 over 7. So which is the smallest coefficient? Negative 3 is the smallest number. So what is the term with the smallest coefficient? It is the term that's got negative 3xy. What is the coefficient of x squared z? So the one that I've circled here. X squared z, the coefficient is the number in front. There's like an invisible 1 in front, so the coefficient of that term is 1. So this introductory video makes sure that we know how many terms there are, what the coefficient means, what the constant term means.